It's funny how Liverpool's second team is miles better than West Ham's starting 11, bar Mohamed Kudus, of course. With Arne Slot naming a team packed with players who can start for any Premier League side, it's no surprise that we managed to get the job done relatively easy against a West Ham team coming off a hammering by Chelsea. With Federico Chiesa finally making his first start, Curtis Jones and Jarell Quansah returning to the starting 11, it was an all-round perfect performance. So if any of you missed the game, you surely have a lot of burning questions. How did Chiesa play? Did Quansah make a statement to give Arne Slot a selection headache in the coming weeks? And how did we manage to get the job done despite going one goal down early on? Well, we have you sorted. So hit that like and subscribe button and let's discuss how Arne Slot tactically destroyed West Ham. So if you were around to see the lineup announcement before the game, you probably had one question in mind. How exactly were all these attackers going to fit into the side? See, Slot named 4 attackers who can all play in central areas, something that you don't see that often, so let's explore the lineup. Lining up in the usual 4-3-3 system, Darwin Núñez spearheaded the attack, with Jota directly behind him, playing as the number 10. A role usually fulfilled by Dominik Szoboszlai on either side of Jota. Playing on the wings there was Chiesa and Gakpo, as Endo and Jones formed the double pivot in front of the back line. And as expected, our full defensive line was rotated with Bradley, Quansah, Gomez and Tsimikas starting the game. However, 20 minutes into the match, Jota didn't exactly cover himself in glory. As a ball swung in from a West Ham corner, the Portuguese forward was completely dominated despite his ability in the air, allowing West Ham to win the first ball. From there, it was just a series of comical defending to try and clear the danger away, which ended in Endo parrying the ball off Quansah to deflect the ball into his own net. Speaking of Quansah's own goal, what were your thoughts on the matter? It's hard to blame the defender when Endo was the main culprit in creating the goal for the Hammers. So you think Jota, Endo and Quansah are responsible for that mistake, or is it just an unfortunate series of events? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Well, if you believe that Jota was at fault, maybe spare your criticism, because we all know that he managed to make up for his mistake just minutes later as the Reds equalised. So let's explore how he managed to hit back fast. In pure Szoboszlai fashion, Diogo Jota progressed the ball in the middle of the pitch before quickly combining with Darwin Núñez and unleashing Gakpo on the left-hand side. With the Dutchman utilising his explosive pace to burst past the West Ham line and then got his head up and spotted Chiesa, who hit a stunning scissor kick setting up the Portuguese to finish the move he started. What's really interesting in this attack, however, is how every attacker behind Núñez got involved: the pass from Jota, the original cross from Gakpo, the assist from Chiesa, and the finish from Jota. Do you think this was perhaps a masterstroke from Slot to reshape his usual 4-3-3 system in order to accommodate all of these attackers? Or was it just individual brilliance from each player? 4 minutes into the second half, Curtis Jones was getting himself in on the action. Jones sliced through the lines using his brilliant ball-carrying ability to set up Jota for Liverpool's second goal to go ahead. Of course, we're not suggesting Curtis Jones should replace Ryan Gravenberch, Alexis McAllister or Dominik Szoboszlai. After all, that midfield trio has been doing the job lately. However, it's good to know he's ready to play when called upon, as he played a vital role in our win, finishing the game with 95% of his passes and completing 2 dribbles out of 2. We should also mention Wataru Endo, who despite not playing at all for Slot so far, and with that early goal we conceded, he still put in a solid shift in the middle of the park. But those 9 possession lost and his inability to progress the play might be enough to understand why he lost his starting position under the new manager. Now, putting this new double pivot on the pitch wasn't the only interesting decision Slot made last night. With both Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson missing from the starting side, Liverpool continued to push their fullbacks further up the pitch anyway, as Tsimikas and Conor Bradley both pushed as high up the pitch as physically possible to provide overlapping runs, allowing our wingers to cut inside to more central areas, which in turn allowed Jota to push up alongside Núñez. Even a detail as minor as the fullbacks pushing up is actually a huge tactical gamble by the Dutchman, and it played a huge role in the build-up to our third goal. With Tsimikas holding the width on the left and Bradley pushing up to the right half space, Mo Salah, who came off of the bench, moved out wide to facilitate the Northern Irishman attacking the box. From there, Salah slipped the young fullback through, who provided the cutback towards McAllister. And despite the Hammers' keeper making the save, the ball bounced back in front of our Egyptian king to fire home. It's safe to say from that moment on, the floodgates really opened, especially with the Hammers receiving a red card shortly after our third goal, and just like that, Cody Gakpo ran riot on West Ham, scoring 2 goals in quick succession in the dying minutes of the game to embarrass West Ham even further. Guys, it's safe to say that Gakpo has impressed every time he's played so far this season. But with Luis Diaz being the main man in recent weeks, we believe that Cody might need to wait a little bit more before he gets the opportunity to grab that starting position. Now, for those who are wondering about Chiesa's performance, Arne Slot mentioned in an earlier press conference that he didn't expect the Italian to play the full 90 minutes, so it shouldn't come as a shock that he came off in the 60th minute. Still, just how good of a performance did he have in the first half? Aside from setting up the equalizer with a beautiful bicycle kick, the Italian winger looked like a huge threat down that right-hand side as Aaron Cresswell struggled to deal with him, not winning a single duel against the Italian in the first half. It's safe to say that we have another fantastic attacker on our hands here that we can add to the pile, which brings us to the important question. Both Chiesa and Jota put a fantastic shift last night, and Nunes is in hot form after scoring in his last match, so there's no doubt that Arne Slot has a problem with selection for the next game, a problem he's probably glad to have. So who do you think should be starting for Liverpool in our next game against Wolves at the weekend? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. And speaking of selection headache, there is a position that probably has no debate over it. Put aside the own goal, which wasn't his fault in our opinion, Quanstar still looked shaky across the second half as Liverpool found themselves being threatened by the Hammers. And so it makes perfect sense why Ibrahima Konate has cemented himself for the left centre-back position. And speaking of the Frenchman, we have an in-depth video coming your way shortly about how Konate is being a key player under Arne Slot this season. So make sure you do subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out. Now, while Quansah struggled to deal with West Ham's attacker, Conor Bradley had no such issue. While some might be aware of the kind of dangerous threat that Crysencio Somerville possesses with his pace and dribbling, either Conor Bradley hadn't heard all the hype or simply didn't care. The Northern Irish right-back managed to completely shut down the former Leeds man. It was a day for the youngsters, as Curtis Jones and Conor Bradley both had fantastic performances, surely solidifying their places as solid backup options. Now, a 5-1 thrashing is never an easy pill to swallow, and so fans of the London side may feel unhappy with the refereeing as their side had multiple penalty shouts and an offside call for the first goal that waved away without the help of VAR. So, did you think that maybe we got away with some, or is it just another team that wants to complain about refereeing? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. A first goal involvement for Federico Chiesa, 5 goals past the Hammers, and into the hat for the next round to face Brighton. With Slot's front four of Nunes, Jota, Gakpo and Chiesa, the Dutchman was able to overwhelm the Hammers and sweep them aside comfortably. 2 goals from Jota and a blinder of a performance from Curtis Jones in the attack, with Conor Bradley dominating in defence. Many players put their names down to get involved at the weekend. So do you think Liverpool should aim for the EFL Cup as an objective, or should we keep rotating our squad during the next round? Do you think the likes of Curtis Jones and Conor Bradley should be rewarded for their brilliant performances last night? And what would be your preferred lineup for the game against Wolves? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed today's video, why not hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Liverpool deep dives. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Take care.